We got the big show back here on MMAOddsBreaker. Jared Rosholt getting ready to do battle. UFC Fight Night 82 coming up here against Roy Nelson. Big battle, big fight up for you. It's what's today? Today's Thursday. Run me through what happened. It's about mid afternoon for you right now, early afternoon for you right now in the Central Time Zone. What have you done so far today?
I woke up this morning and actually taking care of my kids because the wife's out of town for work, and take care of them, get them ready, and take them to school and stuff, and make my shake with my NutriBullet every morning, and that's my breakfast. And then I get my stuff together and head to Velocity to Team Takedown to the gym, and hit a hard wrestling practice this morning. I went 5-minute warm up and then 5-minute rounds of live wrestling. Did that, and as far as I felt and as far as what the coaches said, it's the best wrestling they've seen out of me my whole career. So that's a pretty good compliment right now.
Who are your training partners for wrestling?
Right now I got a guy that wrestles he trains for the Worlds and stuff. His name's actually Florence, but he wrestles out of Dallas, but he wrestles for the Pacific Islands. He's made their world team a couple times, but I've wrestled with him for years. And he wrestles freestyle mainly, but and then Justin Wren's around every now and again, and Kenny Monday, I wrestle with him a lot. Even at his age, that guy's still tough, and then very fast, and those old guys are experienced, man. They know how to stay in good position. You can't horse those guys around; they're just too good. So it's good wrestling.
That's good. It's good. So and we talked about in the past where I kind of felt like you got the wrestling disease where you're like, hey, I'm really good, you can't take me down, and I can hit you really hard, so I'm just going to box you to death, and you're going to fall down eventually. And it would make these long, drawn-out battles that you really didn't need to be in. Now that your wrestling is the best it's ever been, as far as MMA goes, do you feel like now you can go back to your roots of wrestling and be more of a wrestler in these fights?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, a lot of my 3 weeks of my camp, this camp, I went up to Grudge and was training in Colorado. So I actually, this is my first week back was this week, and working with the team here. I was up there in I guess it's not Golden, but wherever Grudge is there, Wheat area, yeah, Denver area, and so I was there for 3 weeks, and I was working with Justin Wren, Josh Copeland, a couple other big heavyweights that are local there, and then even did like one round with Pat Barry and just a few random people. And training at the altitude is what I was really excited about. And anyways, I was off topic, but the main thing was I got to work on my striking a lot there, and I got to work with a different striking coach. And man, everything's felt so good that I think I can always fall back on my wrestling, but this is an exciting time for me where I think I can use my hands. I'm starting to feel really comfortable.
Well, let's break down your opponent a little bit. How do you see? Is he going to change at all? Is he going to be the same person we've seen every single time he stepped inside that cage?
I think most people are creatures of habit. I think Roy Nelson's a creature of habit. Every fight seems to be the same thing. He's deceivingly athletic for his image. What he looks like does not That's not who he is. He's got good balance. He's got good footwork. He's got a lot of power. He's not somebody you don't want to bump into on the street and cuss at and not know who he was because he might just knock you right on your butt. But I think he's just going to be the same person every fight that I've watched of his. He's even from way back in the Ultimate Fighter stuff. He's still the same guy. It seems like every fight he's got a lot of power in his hands and he relies on that.
He's coming off a 3-fight losing streak right now. He's not doing very well. Lost to Hunt, lost to Overeem, lost to Barnett. 2 decisions in there, and then Hunt knocked him out. He's super tough to put down, too. He gets hit a lot and doesn't fall down. He's just one of those guys. So another heavyweight you've got great cardio, you know how to push when you decide to use your wrestling. Are you finding it hard to use the good mix of hitting a guy and then leaning up against him and hitting a guy up against him? Because Roy... That's really the style to beat Roy, is you've got to hit him and lean on him and pull him down a little bit and hit him some more because he's not going to fall. He's not going to pass out. You've got to hit him a ton, and he's probably more than likely still going to be coming across.
That's the thing with Roy. Is one thing that makes him so tough is he's just so durable. He can just keep going forward. He can get hit so many times. You can think of so many fights that I've watched, where he just gets lit up, and the guy just keeps coming. It's like he's like a robot, and then the whole time he's throwing that big right hand, so you can never let your guard down. You got to stay sharp the whole time. He's just he's a tough, durable opponent. He's one of the toughest guys in the UFC I can think of. One of the toughest guys to finish. He's only been finished one time by probably the hardest hitter in the UFC.
So I got to ask, the elephants in the room, what's Team Takedown like now with Johnny Hendricks being, out of the game right now?
I haven't really noticed much of a change. I'm sure there's some feelings behind the scenes with the management and stuff, but as far as with the coaches and with me and team wise, it's like just less to worry about for them. They're not having to worry about the weight cuts, the checking his diet, the keeping an eye on him, and with me everything's so easy. It's just like I show up on time, I do my work, I work my butt off every time, and every time just great workout, good job. You had a hell of a workout today. Everybody goes on their way, and we meet up for the next workout. So I think to them, it's been a refreshing time for them. For the coaches and stuff, instead of having to, just kind of bird dog somebody all the time. They know that I'm doing the right things. I want to win, so it's good.
You talked about earlier, and obviously when Johnny was with Team Takedown, his weight problem is, astronomical. Like everyone knows about his issues of getting up to 220, 210, and trying to cut down to 170. You talked about earlier, you get a NutriBullet every morning for your breakfast. Has your diet changed much during this training camp, or has it been kind of the same since your last 3 fights?
I think I've slowly evolved as time has gone on. Every fight it seems like I clean my diet up a little bit more, and everything's starting to become habit. To where I don't mess up and eat bad near as much as I used to. And slowly it just becomes a lifestyle and a habit. Just like anything else, like working out hard and stuff. You just get used to it.
Were you fighting it? Were you trying to fight the diet? Because you are a heavyweight fighter. You're a heavyweight wrestler. Like you never really had to cut weight. And it was like, I'm going to win anyway, whether I eat, chicken fried steak or if I eat a salad. Like I'm still going to win. It doesn't make a difference. This is what Jared Rosholt does, kind of thing. So you kind of resistant to, trying to get on a good nutrition plan?
No, not really. I'm not resistant to it. Actually, a lot of times I have meals made for me, maybe by like my running coach and stuff, or Mark Laman's wife, or my wife cooks really good for me. I like to cook myself, but I'm not afraid to have cheat meals or nothing like that. But I was used to college wrestling, where like, hey, your 3 meals a day is ramen noodles. That's what you're going and working your butt off all practice on is ramen noodles. I remember like 3 years ago, I went into a workout, and before the workout, I was like, man, I haven't had top ramen in, 2 years. I'm like, I'm going to eat some for lunch. I ate some top ramen for lunch, and then I went and tried to work out on it. And I was just a dead dog out there. I couldn't move. I had no energy, nothing. I was like, how did I do this day after day, weeks after weeks of being just a poor college kid eating crap and working out so hard all the time? I was like, man, I just did not know anything about nutrition and stuff. And now I slowly get better and better all the time.
Yeah. Is it hard for you and the family, though? Because, kids want to eat, McDonald's and Wendy's, and they want to have different foods, and, macaroni and cheese, even if you do everything organic at the house, it's still going to be a lot of stuff that you can't have. You find it hard to eat with the family, too?
No, not too bad. Like I said, if the kids are eating some chips or something, and I feel like grabbing a handful, hey, I can do that. I don't have to worry about my weight like that. But for the most part, no, it's not that big of a deal. Wife was out of town this week, and the kids want something to eat, and I was going by Wendy's. They said, "Can we have Wendy's?" I said, "Sure." I swing in there, I get them their stuff, and I go home and I make my own meal, and everything's fine. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, some heavyweight guys I've talked to, it's like, they find it really hard to be on a diet or be better about their eating habits with kids, and because it's like I don't have to cut any weight, so I really have to worry about that issue of how many fat grams, how many carb grams. But it's like it's easy, it's convenient just to grab this right now because that's what the kids want and go home, and get some sleep in. So yeah, it's a difficult task sometimes, but obviously it sounds like you got a good handle on it.
Yeah, well, I think with mine is I started to realize that I have such better workouts when I'm running off the right fuel. And the more I can get out of my workouts, the better I'll get. And every little advantage I can get, I'm gonna try and take. So the eating stuff I've cleaned up a lot. Just because I think if I can just get a little bit more of an edge, it's gonna take me to where I want to go.
Yeah, that 1% extra, and it's sometimes it's drinking more water and having a couple more salads. And
I
that's the
believe it.
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Jared. Thanks so much for coming on here. I appreciate it. I know you got a busy day today, so I'll let you get out of here. I do see this fight as being a big defining moment for you. If you can decisively beat Roy Nelson, it's going to put you at least in the talks here in the next couple of fights of being in the top end of the game. So Roy's it's a tough fight, but it's definitely winnable for you. It's a tough challenge.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough fight with Roy. He's a tough guy. It's going to be a long, grueling one, I think.
Last question before I let you out of here. Are you still excited about getting up every day and going to practice, knowing at the end of this training camp you got Roy Nelson over there getting ready to punch you?
Oh, absolutely, man. This is the most excited I've been for any fight. These are the guys you've been working toward getting to, the Struve, beating Struve, and now you move on to Roy Nelson. You're like, man, who's it going to be if you beat him? It's just excitement after excitement. I'm excited for it, man. I haven't been this excited about competition and competing in a long time.
Good. I'm glad. It shows. Actually, it shows in your face and your mannerisms. Like you're not as usually when I interview you, you're very stoic and you're very kind of yep, nope. And then now you're rocking back and forth in your chair. You got a big smile on your face. Your arms are moving. You're a little bit more animated. You can tell that you're actually excited about this fight. And even before the Struve fight, I really didn't see that in you. Now it's like, oh wow, like he kind of gets it that you can be one of the guys. That you're about to be one of the guys.
Yeah, getting close, man. I can see the light down there.
Good for you. All right, Jared. Have a great rest of your day, man. We'll talk again soon.
Anytime. I appreciate it.